everyone. This wasn't how I expected that I would start this podcast. However, this week I wonder if the dream has come to an end a bit. This is episode 000, I would say. I don't want to call it 001. Yeah, my name is Damien. I am 34. I live in East Lothian in Scotland. I'm the co-owner of a travel company called Being Well Travel Company. And this podcast will document both my journey as a parent, a co-owner of a company, and someone just trying to generally be a better person. But it'll also be kind of peppered with experiences along the way with all of those different topics. Today, I want to talk to you about running, actually. 11 months ago, I started a journey. I hadn't run a mile in my life. I set out to run all the kind of traditional distances of road races, 5K, 10K, half marathon, and full. And then fast forward 11 months and disaster struck. In week 11 of my marathon training block, I had a knee pain that was very familiar to me. And as a result, I had to take some medical advice, and I'm not entirely sure that I'm over the moon with the response that I got. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Perhaps good to start at the beginning. I have always inherently been quite lazy, overweight, consumed with things that aren't particularly healthy since a young age. Those things have changed, whether it was cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, not for many years, of course, but when I was younger. More recently, in more recent years, food, wine, all the good stuff, but actually the stuff that I realised that I thought was good, but it really wasn't good. And yeah, so like general sedentary lifestyle. However, when I had my first child 6 years ago, I really realised that there was a need to change and be the parent that I felt that I needed when I was a child. I wanted to be able to be that for them, or for her at the time. And quite frankly, I was nowhere near it. So I embarked on a journey. For Daisy's 4th birthday, I cycled 4,000 kilometers on a static bike during COVID to try and raise money for a mental health charity, and also to prove to myself that I could do something. After that, I received some bad news about my right knee. I've always had issues with my knees. I've always used them as an excuse as to why I was kind of lazy and overweight. However, I got some bad news. The bad news was that I had patella misalignment, malalignment, or patella tracking disorder in both of my knees, actually. But the right one was the problem. There was a lot of locking, there was a lot of giving way, there was a lot of pain. I would, after every cycle towards the end of that 4,000 kilometer cycle, I would be icing and painkillers, and it really wasn't good. So, anyways, the diagnosis was that in both knees, but the right knee was the one that we decided that we would need to operate on. The operation, I re-injured it in the build up to the operation, and it ended up going from a keyhole surgery to the surgeon apparently had to do a lot of tidying up while they were in there. So I had a foot long. I'll flash an image up of it. It was a pretty nasty gash. Recovered from that. Discovered David Goggins. I don't know if I discovered that doing hard things made me a better person, but I was getting a different vibe from applying myself in ways that I never applied myself before to kind of physical pursuits. And I say physical pursuits when I look at them now, walking up a small hill. But then, yeah, so that's kind of where I was, and then what I set out to achieve was as I mentioned in the introduction, where I wanted to be able to do. I've never ran before, so don't do things by half. So I wanted to do a 5, 10, half, and full marathon. Managed to do my 5 beginning of this year, towards the end of last year, was it? Anyways, managed to do my 5. That was tough. supported by my good friend Patrick from Germany. He came and paced me or pushed me or dragged me or whatever. But I mean, that was like 5K was a distance for me at that point. That was a long way. I still remember how painful that was. But anyway, so I managed my 5, and bear in mind, every training block that I'm in right now, I'm running the furthest that I've ever ran every time. Then into my 10K block again. 10K just felt wild, man. I ran the cross-border 10K over in Carlisle, so it was Carlisle to Gretna, run across the border. That has a lot of kind of meaning for me. I crossed that border a lot as a child, so that's one of the reasons why I picked that. And then around the Edinburgh Half, the Edinburgh Half was an awful race for me. I had a stomach bug in the lead up to the race. I took 4 anti-diarrhea tablets before the start line, and it wasn't good. About halfway, I spotted an ambulance and thought, I think I might need some help here. But I kept on going and I've done it. Since then, like since the beginning, in 10 months, I think it's been 600 miles on the feet, 125 runs. I've taken 8 minutes off my 5K PB. I've taken, I think 3 or 4 minutes off my 10K PB, but I've never really been training to take. This is now where I've been doing it fast, so I'm doing the distance. But like naturally through using the Runner app, actually that I absolutely swear by, I've been shaving time off almost every time that I've tried. So I've achieved a lot. I can't lose sight of that. However, in was it week 10 or 11? I'll be honest, my brain is fried right now. Can't see the wood from the trees. Running brings me a lot of clarity, and not being able to run has been a struggle. Got a pain in my good knee, if you like. Rested it for a little while. I say rested. I just focused on strength training. I didn't run for a couple of days. I actually kind of knew what it was because I've had the pain before, so I just chat GPT'd like a rehab type thing. Started to do that. All the kind of rehab that I've done before. And then after a few days, I thought, actually, I need to speak to a medical professional. This is not going to end up well. So spoke to a doctor on Monday of this week. This is now Thursday, and explained to her the situation. Explained the previous diagnosis that I'd had from an MRI on both of my knees, showing that I had this malalignment and tracking disorder in both knees. And she has referred me to a surgeon next week, 6 weeks out from a marathon that essentially I've been training for 10 months for. I've been raising money for charity, and I want to see a surgeon. So I don't know what to do, to be quite honest. And that's kind of why I'm coming on to capture this. I have a few options. I can wait and see what the surgeon says. I guess that's probably the wisest option. There's part of me that just thinks, just get out and get this done. Maybe the next time I record something, I've run a marathon, because it's not about the medal for me. It's not about anything else. It's about getting in the distance. Within a year, raising money for charity, showing the kids what I can do, or I just kind of succumb to it and just go, oh well, no, I'm not doing a marathon this year. I'm just going to end at a half marathon. Even saying that out loud, that's not going to happen, is it? So yeah, that's where I am. Like I say, this podcast thing was never going to be a kind of woe is me, or this was never the idea for the first podcast. We've got Lauren and I have several podcasts that we want to record together. I've got several podcasts that I want to record alone. However, this just felt like quite an honest place to start. Quite a few people have been asking me about, how's the training block going, what's going on. I've not seen you, Strava, blah blah blah, and so this is where I am, guys. Just want to kind of say thanks to everyone for all the donations and each of the challenges that I've taken on so far. And I'll be back soon with confirmation on what do I decide to do. Defy doctor's advice, not listen to a doctor's advice. Maybe I've already run a marathon when you're watching this. Please, just be thankful for your health. and don't waste any time. Don't take anything for granted, because you don't realize what you've got until it's gone. I guess that's that old chestnut. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you have a fantastic day.